All right, let's hear it. Okay.
Throughout the Humanities 1 in Action course, our worldviews have been challenged and deepened by profound questions and world events. In this presentation, we'll be looking into one of the perennial questions. Which serves a society better, an authoritarian regime or the country ruled by the people?
As an example of this question, we'll be looking into the February 2021 Myanmar coup d'etat.
So first of all, what actually happened? After a coup back in 1962, the Myanmar military gained substantial power. Until 2011, it has even been the socialist dictator ruling party of Myanmar.
In 2011, Myanmar began a tentative transition to democracy. However, the military still held substantial power, and on the 8th of November 2020, the National League for Democracy won a landslide victory of 396 out of 476 seats in parliament, showing how much the Burmese people prefer democracy. However, the military disputed the results and claimed they were fraudulent.
The military seized the government, launching the infamous coup on the morning of February the 1st, 2021, the day before elected members were due to be sworn in. They deposed around 400 officials, and President Win Min and Secretary Aung San Suu Kyi were detained. This has since sparked nationwide uproar and anti-coup protests, which still continue to this day.
So, how did the military's authoritative takeover affect the Burmese people psychologically? Well, the citizens do not have any form of internet access, so they can't even stay updated on their own situation. This lack of internet means that even nationwide education has stopped. Idle and helpless, they have been living in fear, and Yvonne Yi, a teenager living in this situation, stated that her biggest fear was that after all that struggle for democracy, they'd go back to a life without freedom, showing how much Myanmar has adopted a sort of democratic ideal and how the people crave democratic power.
And what are the sociological effects of the coup? We can use PESTLE to analyze Myanmar's state of sociology. Firstly, the violent riots that has claimed over 1,000 Burmese lives has thrown the country into political and social unrest. Secondly, Myanmar's economy has seen great decline. As many as 1.2 million jobs were lost in the second quarter of 2021 alone, and the GDP has shrank by 18%. Thirdly, the military seizure of the government has ran Myanmar into legal issues with the UN, as it is seen as an act of coercion and violation of human rights. Countries around the world have turned their backs, and many have even imposed sanctions. As can be seen through this analysis, Myanmar is in a desperate state of turmoil, and international actions have only exacerbated its sociological state and chances of recovery.
Countries all over the world have condemned the military for their actions, but as Alan and Samuel stated, very little has actually been done. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations has created a plan of action, but their impact is very limited. If changes to occur to return Myanmar to a democratic society, it most likely will have to come from within.
Once again, the big question is asked. Which serves the people better, an authoritarian or a democratic society? The Myanmar coup is just one of many contemporary events that reflect people's belief of how society should be managed. Authoritarian leaderships very often end up in corrupted governments and occur with great detriment to psychological and sociological aspects. Burmese movements for democracy and decentralization from military power make it clear that people disfavor authoritarian leadership. So, what do you think should be the group consensus?
As the first anniversary of the January 6 Capitol riots approaches, it is imperative to contemplate how countries all over the world seem to have, in one way or another, regressed into authoritarian forms of government. The world needs to continue to search for a means to resist such a deleterious process.
Thank you.